the Honorable Assistant Minister for Agriculture and Waterways and Environment, Honorable Viampille, CEO PS Agriculture, Mr. Das, the President of Grace Road Farms, Mr. Daniel Kim, the CEO of Agro Marketing Authority, Mr. Elvin Sharma, CEO of Fiji Sugar Corporation, Mr. Graham Clark, and Chief Financial Officer of FSC, Mr. Manoj Ram, the CEO of Yangara Pastoral Company, Mr. Adrian Ram, the other senior executives of our senior staff from Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Waterways and Environment, advisory councillors, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the Fiji Rice Limited, the chairman of Food Processors Limited, and the CEO of Sugarcane Growers Fund, and former senior executive of Fiji Home Finance Company, Mr. Sharma. Unfortunately, we are running short of due to physical distancing. We are not able to accommodate the senior people who matter a lot to Fiji's agriculture sector here. So, Mr. Clark, Mr. Sharma, apologies for not being able to accommodate you in the front line. But, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who will work with Ministry of Agriculture to get agriculture to where we want to. And today, it's a pleasure for me to be here to make an announcement on a strategy for agriculture, how we're going to move agriculture forward. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, we are in an extremely challenging era. The world has possibly never been so vulnerable, and Fiji is no exception. COVID-19 has caused widespread disruption to people's livelihoods, driven primarily by movement restrictions and concern about leaving their houses. The pandemic is also disrupting people's food environments and is already resulting in food security scares across various countries. We have seen examples of food supply disruptions due to supply chain issues and production being halted as countries grapple with global pandemic. Here at home, COVID-19 has brought our vulnerabilities to the forefront, as well as pave opportunities that we need to capitalize on. And it is on this subject matter, opportunities, that is my address is geared towards. In this address, I wish to focus on opportunities ahead of us and how Ministry of Agriculture wishes to seize this opportunity to fulfill two of our critical primary and strategic objectives. And let me repeat. Those are securing the country for its food and nutritional security requirements, and number two, progressively expanding agriculture to its full potential to raise our national income and become the leading exporter of the country. These are the two primary and strategic objectives of our country. And today I'm going to provide a framework of how we will deal with the delivering of these two primary strategic objectives of agriculture. One is securing the country for its food and nutritional requirement, and number two, ensuring that we leverage agriculture to its full potential to raise our national income and become the leading exporter of the country. And of course, this won't happen overnight. This won't happen just alone. It'll require a national movement. It'll be done progressively over time. Secondly, when you're talking about this secondary objective, we're talking about improving the livelihood of our rural communities, provision for employment opportunities, and using sustainable agriculture practice to mitigate climate change issues. So when we deal with the primary objective and we are able to deliver on to the primary objective, then these secondary objectives will fall in line itself. So we don't want to really interchange these objectives. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 6 weeks, the Ministry of Agriculture has strengthened its, over the last 6 weeks, the Ministry of Agriculture has strengthened its efforts to mobilize households and farmers to engage in productive agricultural activities to raise production to enhance food and nutritional security for all who are dependent on them to provide a steady supply of fresh produce. As you are all aware, the Ministry's rapid response plan in the wake of this global pandemic was through the announcement and implementation of an agriculture response package, which was built on upscaling several initiatives that were already in place. This was done to ensure that Fijians have access to adequate food of acceptable quality and nutritional value throughout this crisis. In addition to this, the country has been greatly impacted and hampered by TC Herald when it hit Fiji on 8 April 2020. But our efforts to reach out with our support package have been continuing with high demand and public interest. Ladies and gentlemen, one of these initiatives which we announced earlier was the home gardening program, where we provided gardening seed packages to all households in urban and peri-urban areas around Fiji. I'm pleased to announce that as of the end of last week, and within less than a month of since launching this package, we have distributed 11,602 seed packages across Fiji. This comprised of 4,774 packages in the Central Division, 979 seed packages in the Western Division, 4,782 in the Eastern Division, and 150 in the Northern Division, respectively. Additionally, 917 seed packages were distributed to employees of various NGOs, entities, and organizations where the employees lost their job. Cumulatively, this comprised of 129,024 individual packs of seeds of various commodities that was given out to the general public. Unprecedented level of support and unprecedented level of response from the rank and file to engage into smallholder backyard agriculture. This initiative will greatly enhance food security by giving our people the following opportunities. A, direct access to a diversity of nutritionally rich foods, increased purchasing power from savings and food bills, fallback food provision due to the potential decrease in production and trade caused by TC Herald and COVID-19. And 4, continuity in sustaining food supply through home gardening now and into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the distribution of such large number of seed packages, there remain a large number of households who are still interested in making full use of vacant land around their house to grow their food. We have now resumed in the preparation and procurement of planting material and seed packaging, and we will resume this initiative within 2 weeks to ensure that the targeted households stated earlier also receive this package. So we have taken a break, we're now buying, we are now procuring, because we kind of underestimated the interest out there, and we have run out of the seeds. So we are now procuring our second round of procurement, and this will continue, and packaging will be done over this week and next week, and we'll go back and again distribute to the remaining households throughout Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, since the launch of this seed package, we have received calls from the corporate sector to provide specific number of packages for the employees who have lost their job. The individual corporate sector has been calling, saying that 100 or so employees have lost job. Can you give us the seed package so that we can give it to them to engage them? So we wish to announce that we will repackage the existing backyard gardening seed package for these employees, calling it a corporate employee seed package. So we will provide a slightly upscaled this package that we are giving out to the backyard urban households, and we will give it out to the corporate sector. What we need from the corporate sector is to come up and tell us how many employees that have lost jobs, where the office is located, so we can deliver the package to the office at no cost to them, so that the employees can engage in the backyard agriculture. So this is up for grabs in 2 weeks' time. This week, we need this data, the corporate sector to call us. For example, ATS wrote to our peers and said that, what was the number, peers? About 500 employees. They wanted a 500 package to give it out to employees who have lost full job or hours or reduced hours. And immediately we have made arrangement for 250 package. And we are now, as I said, we are now procuring. We never anticipated this level of demand, and this is unprecedented level of understanding about importance of agriculture, unprecedented level of demand, and we can see how people are passionate about getting into agriculture. And as I alluded to last week, there's no shortcut to interfering in the market to reduce prices of vegetables. It is a business model that we must respect. We should not interfere in a price in the market. It is unmarket. It is anti-growth. Instead, we should play our part in getting supply into the market that will eventually solve the anomalies of the market, such as price increases. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to address the issue of rice production and potentially a crisis ahead. Rice is now consumed by every household in Fiji, and it's good to see a chairman of Fiji Rice Limited, who is working very closely with us, very passionate, and himself has given a major support of providing to us 20 tons of rice seed. Rice is now an essential commodity for every household. Vis-a-vis about 30 years ago, now every household in Fiji is now consuming rice. In last year's data, we imported close to $42.6 million worth of rice into Fiji, equivalent to around 40,000 metric tons of rice. About 8,000 metric tons of rice is produced and consumed locally. And historically, we have achieved the maximum about 66% of self-sufficiency of rice production, but we have gone down now. A total to achieve full self-sufficiency in Fiji, we will need to bring 24,000 acres of land under production with two crops. So 2 crops, a year, minimum 2 crops. We can, in some areas, have 3 crops, even 4 crops. Example of a model of having 3 or 4 crops is Grace Road Farms Limited, and President Kim is here. This is a model that we all must emulate. Let's thank and congratulate for this model that they've established, that it is possible. It is possible, and that's what we all should do, is we must continue to think big. And unless someone said to me, when I was in education, and I said that we need to have 100% pass rate, he said, why are you saying 100% pass rate? That's impossible. I said, look, why you want to target substandard? Why you want to target a second best solution? Always target the first best solution. And if you can't deliver, or you may deliver progressively. And that's what here I'm saying, let's target 100% self-sufficiency in rice. Let's not from day gone, without getting into the soccer field, surrender ourselves. Let's get into the field, start playing, and then see what the outcome would be. And I think we can do it if we have partners like this. We can. If we have a chairman of Fiji Rice Limited like Mr. Sharma, who always thinks big. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our plan. On the food security side, we wish to provide rice seeds up to 30 kg for 1 acre to every sugarcane farmer. CEO of Fiji Sugar Corporation is here. We wish to provide 30 kg of rice seed to every sugarcane farmer in this country. See how many sugarcane farmers we have? 10,000? 12,000. Assume all these 12,000 farmers sets aside 12,000 acres. There we go. Out of the 24,000 acres, we are done with 50%. We're done with 50%. At no cost to you. We will give the rice, we will give the technology, we will assist in land preparation. Our subsidized land preparation program is there. You pick up 50% of this 24,000. Partners like Grace Road Farms Limited will assist us in picking up the other. And the non-sugar farmers will pick up, like Vinesh Rai here. So, CEO and Chief Financial Officer, you got work cut out for you. At no cost to FSC, all they need to do is to set aside 1 acre of land. If they go for 1 crop, then they don't even have to set aside the 1 acre of land, because every year they bring new plant crop, because they would want to retire some ratoon. So there's a gap of 3 months. There's a gap of 3 months. Minimum they could do is to utilize that 3-month, 4-month gap by putting rice under crop, like we used to do, Harry, like we used to do before. Number two, we will be providing rice seeds up to 30 kg for 1 acre to every non-sugarcane farmers. Vinesh, in Sabeto, all the farmers that you have, over 200 to 300 farmers there, Krishna, Tatun, every non-sugarcane farmer, we're willing to provide a 30 kg rice seed progressively. Of course, if everyone comes to us today, and we may not be able to provide them today, but progressively, this is our strategy for the next 8 months, the entire strategy that I'm going to read out, that we will provide to non-sugarcane farmer. In Valley Road, in all this non-sugarcane area, this offer is there, that all they need to do is to get the land ready. We're happy to roll this program out. Number three, we wish to provide rice seeds to all 1,100 villages for community-based rice farming in Fiji. So we've got approximately 1,100 villages in Fiji. They need to come up providing a signed statement from the Turunikoro. This is not individual farming in the village. Normally, villages, they do communal farming. So this village, they need to come up with a Turunikoro who says, I've got 5 acres allocated land in the village, and we are ready. They have to provide to us a rice growing cluster. So this particular village, let's say Sabeto village, they say they've got 10 acres of land, and these are the people who would be doing this rice growing cluster. Yeah? For the communal, for the village. This is not for individual in the village. And village, most of the work is done communally. So the entire production in the village will be for the village consumption. The surplus will be taken over by Fiji Rice Limited. Chairman is here. Chairman will speak in a while. That they will, I don't want to steal the thunder out of the chairman's talk, but he'll talk about how he will pick up all the rice from the villages and from the settlements. So what we need is a signed commitment by the village Turunikoro that this particular village, 10 acres is there, so 10 times 30 kg of rice seed that we will provide. We also would need the population size of the village, so we can organize what is the consumption requirement of the village, so we can work it that up, per capita consumption times the population, then we can provide initially that maximum that amount. Later on, they can do surplus production commercially. We will get to that when we have dealt with the requirement from the rest of the country. So, if we do these three things, the commercial, the sugar, the non-sugar farmers and the village, I think we need to say bye-bye to Vietnam suppliers and Thailand suppliers. Again, we can do it. At the commercial level, Grace Road farms are the single most top commercial rice farmer in this country. No one can beat them. Not even Mandevu, Drakiti, even Walevu, no. No one. No one is done. They've got everything. They've got the seeds, they've got the technology, they've got the machinery. One just has to look behind me and see how they're doing in terms of banana. And today we'll be launching a new initiative that I'm going to talk about in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to move on to securing village nutritional security. Ladies and gentlemen, added to the urban initiative, Ministry will also provide every village with a set of 3x12 fruit tree seedling that would also be provided with fruit trees to complement the nutritional requirement. So every village, we will provide 3x12, so assorted fruit trees, guava, avocado. So assorted, some village may already have that. Right? So all we will need to do is we will work with the villages. We have the list with Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development and Ministry of Ethiopian Affairs. What we'll do, we'll deliver this seedling to every village. We will oversee, so we will be there when they're doing the planting. We'll not just give the seedling and come. Right? We will oversee the planting, and we'll do a basic training to the community on how to support the seedling for the first 12 months or so, so that we conserve it and protect it from external threats like animals and other pests and diseases. So this initiative is to secure nutritional security, because normally in the Interior Maritime Division, food security is not an issue to that extent, but it is nutritional security. Securing household for long-term food security. We note that apart from providing short-term crops, we will also secure every household in Fiji with long-term crops, which will continue to provide food to the household year-round. So on this note, the ministry will progressively, I'm saying progressively because it's not possible to do it immediately next week, even though we will start next week, provide to every household in Fiji, the following planting material. One, every household in Fiji will be given one coconut seedling. So every household in Fiji, you will see a coconut tree. And I don't have to tell you about the benefits of a coconut tree, what benefit coconut nut will provide to the household. Every household will be provided with 2 cuttings of drumstick. And you know very well how nutritious drumstick, the vegetable, is. One of the superfood. So we will give to every household to plant 2 cuttings. Number 3, every household will be provided with a seedling of breadfruit. Director Research has been put on the spot. All this that I'm announcing, the executive team is here. It's their job to deliver. How they deliver is their problem. My job is to get the policy, PS, and director. So I was discussing with the director, and he said that he will utilize SPC's tissue culture lab to quickly get the seedling, breadfruit seedling out. So it's not that this policy and strategy is being announced. At the background, we have discussed whether it's doable or not. Every announcement I'm making here is doable and it will be done. And they will have to deliver. So every household will get 1 coconut seedling. We've already got 2,000 coming from Tavini. They're about to load it up. Drumstick, we will be organizing from Western Division. Breadfruit, we already have it, and some, but this massive amount that we're talking about, we will have to use tissue culture to get it. And so another couple of months' time, thousands and thousands will be ready. Every household will have these 3. And number 4, every household will be given 2 Tivoli tuber cutting. Tivoli is wild yam. Some of you who are familiar with will know. It's an annual crop with ability for natural regeneration, and it is accepted as a climate resilient crop. So every household should have at least 2 or 1. Now, if one goes, doesn't grow. So every household will have this Tivoli, which is a tuber crop, a root crop, wild yam. So to secure our household, we will have these 4 crops, which will be for their lifetime. A lifetime. You'll have a coconut lifetime. Those who understand the definition of lifetime. So we will work out the logistics of how we'll reach out to the households. We will utilize our learning experience from this household farm, household seed package that we have given out. Whether we'll be announcing that we will be on this particular day in every town for people to come pick it up. There's various ways of reaching, or through students who will take it home, so we'll get it to the school system. Those logistics will be announced later on. Village and settlement household poultry meat supplement. In addition to crops, there is also a requirement for livestock to complement people's dietary and nutritional requirement. We note that poultry meat is the most widely consumed meat. We will endeavor to provide every interested household, because some households, the vegetarian ones may not be interested, up to 12-day-old chicks. So I'm saying up to, meaning in urban areas, there may be a restriction by local government not to have more than 6. So 6 to up to 12-day-old chicks, so they will raise it and supplement their dietary requirement with protein and other nutrients. And of course, we will deliver it to the house. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to move on to our strategy to expand medium and large-scale agricultural production. it is now crystal clear that Fiji's strategic advantage lies in primary sectors. Amongst these, agriculture stands tall, but there are other sectors like fisheries and forestry and aquaculture. So up till now, over the last 12 months, I've been saying that this is the sector which is in our control. This is the sector which has huge potential. And I'm saying that thanks to COVID-19, that it has really brought to light how important agriculture is. We here in Ministry of Agriculture, Team Agriculture, wishes to place agriculture as the leading economic sector for Fiji and leading export earner. With Fiji Rice Limited, with CEO of FSC, to do that, we will have to mobilize medium to large farms to grow in response to market signal. I want to make it very clear, and if you've read my statement now and my earlier statements, I'm not talking about grants, I'm not talking about subsidies. Everyone knows it's totally unsustainable. We should not interfere in a market where we want enterprises to operate like a business. So from day one, we want to start with a clean sheet. Yeah? So we will mobilize medium to large farm based on market signals. And that is why fresh, newly appointed CEO of Agro Marketing Authority, he will speak to you today about how he intends to bring the market signal to the farm gate, and incentivize you, motivate you to take that signal, respond to that signal, and expand production. Number two is to deal with this and make agriculture the leading export earner. We must treat agriculture like a business. And I've always said that, please understand, this is not a welfare ministry. About 6 months ago, someone called me from Nandovi. He said, I'm 65 years old, two of us, we don't have any support. Give us some money to support us, and we will construct some poultry shed, poultry cages, etc. I said, you've called the wrong ministry. 65, 70-year-old needs support. You should call social welfare ministry. You need to understand, this is not a welfare ministry. Please. And we need to ensure, number three, production systems are efficient. We will not be able to sustain agriculture if your production system is not efficient. You must have an efficient production system so that you have an edge in a competitive market, whether it's local market or whether it's external market. I mean, look at the ginger industry. Our ginger farmers are much more, 10 times more efficient than ginger farmers in Australia. Take me on the record. But what the Australian importers are doing is then to use our price, pay a very low amount, pay the Australian farmers 10 times more than what our farmers have paid. And therefore, indirectly, we are subsidizing these inefficient farmers in Australia. On the record, 35 Australian dollars a kilo of mature ginger in Australia, and our farmers are paid $2 Fijian a kilo. All these we need to fix, and that's his job. That's his job. If it needs us setting a retail outlet in Australia and New Zealand, hope it doesn't come to that extent. We don't want to spread too and take on a lot of liabilities. But let's look at the model that he will present. But that model of how we deal with the external market won't be presented by him today, but it's something that we have started to think. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have heard about our farm response package that we launched some time back to boost short-term crop production. Honorable Minister for Economy gave us $1 million when he announced the supplementary budget. Thanks to him. We started to give out planting material for a quarter acre land for farmers. To date, we were able to give 689 package to the farmers, seed package to the farmers in 4 divisions. The farmers, this is separate from the backyard gardening seed package. Out of the 689 package, we gave 165 in the Central Division, 220 in the Western Division, 209 in the Northern Division, 92 in the Eastern Division. Again, we've taken a 2-week break because, as you know, this one requires much larger volume of planting material. So despite this, we gave out 689 because we're talking about quarter acre, half acre, 1 acre. So we need that volume of seed or planting material, cuttings, so seedlings. So for this reason, we now, again, procuring internally. Of course, we're also looking at SPC's seed bank as well. They've promised that they will come on board. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll resume. We're urging all the farmers to come forward and take advantage of this free seeds for farmers to engage in production. Now, support in incentivizing large commercial ventures, ladies and gentlemen, this is the plan we have to support large commercial farmers. One, we will provide planting material at no cost to the investor for the amount they require. Unlike the small farm response package, for the investor, we will give you planting material of any amount you want. Whether it's the rice farmer, or dalo farmer, or cassava farmer, you have got 100 acres, you come and register with us saying that I need 100 acres, my land is about to be ready in 2-3 weeks' time, give us some advance notice. We will give you, for example, today is the first, Grace Road Farms is the first commercial company to go into commercial potato farming. Now, potato is high in incentive, very timely incentive, very intensive in input requirement, very sensitive in terms of timing of inputs. Small farmers cannot, and that is why we were not able to really progress, and we are withdrawing from small farms. We need to go commercial. They have the technology, the manpower, the machinery. They have the will to go, and we have provided them with 4 tons of potato planting material at no cost to them. But all of this they will have to return it to us in 3 years' time, so that we will give it to another commercial farmer. They don't have to return immediately next year because they might want to keep that material to expand the production, 2nd year or 3rd year. So if they take 4 tons, they will give us back 4 tons later on. So we're inviting all commercial farmers, big-time commercial farmers, come to us and say, you want to plant 1,000 acres of cassava, 1,000 acres of dalo. Who will buy? He will talk about that. 1,000 acres of bongo chili. We will remove that worry from you about where you will sell. For these listed items that we will give you, bongo chili, duruka, dalo, cassava, yam, we will. But you adhere to quality requirement, you adhere to our farming system so that we get it on that particular time. So we will work closely with agro marketing, Fiji Rice Limited, food processors, all these companies to ensure that we bring market demand signal to you. We will, all these commercial farmers, which we term as our gold card farmers, we will give you dedicated technical service on one call. We will assign dedicated agriculture technical officers, highly skilled technical officers, to immediately on one call to come to your farm and check out any issue of pest and disease or any issue you regard. We will give you, every commercial farmer will give you a farm health card. Our soil analysis lab will come and test your soil and give you a farm health card, which will be revised every 12 months or so. This is the service we will provide to our gold card farmers, all the large-scale commercial farmers. So a dedicated technical officer will be assigned through which you can reach us or you can call the PS, the head of research, head of operations, Vinesh, any of one of us, including myself, we will ensure that we will immediately address the issue. We will work very closely with ETLTB. Our PS has got a rapport with ETLTB. Just today, ETLTB has got a large parcel of land for a commercial investor who is operating out of Singatoka. And in this way, we will support you to get you additional land for agricultural, commercial agriculture. As long as you have the technology, you have the plant and machinery, the warehouse, so that we can target the export market. And CEO of Agro Marketing Authority will talk to you about the key commercial crops that we're targeting: rice, cassava, ndalo, yams, kumala, yangona, squash, pulses, bongo chili, druco, and other high in demand fresh produce for our markets in New Zealand and Australia in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also look at establishing fruit tree orchards. We were able to, thanks to our peers who wrote a proposal, and were able to get Fijian $600,000 to establish orchards throughout Fiji, so that we pump into the market quality fruits to deal with nutritional security, as well as reduce our reliance on imported fruits. As I said earlier on, as I alluded to earlier on, intervention is not the solution, anti-growth. What we need to do is pump in supply in the market, and that will bring down prices. Also, it will improve accessibility to ordinary Fijians. Establishment of nurseries. Ladies and gentlemen, a critical area in addressing the ongoing food security challenges is to establish a strong, secure, sustainable, extensive seed bank in Fiji. So we're looking at establishing seed banks and nurseries in all the regions, large-scale nurseries, and expand the existing nursery that we have in Lenga and Singatoka, and establish new large nurseries in other divisions and other areas within divisions, like in Western Division, we will have in Northwest, as well as in Central Division. We are also working with the donor who will be establishing a large nursery in Suva, who has already got the funds approved to establish a nursery, working with us, and we are now finalizing the deal with the donor, a massive scale nursery in Central Division. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to increase livestock production. As you know, livestock imports is very high. Apart from poultry, we are importing livestock products, pretty much all the other livestock products, and therefore we're losing a lot of foreign exchange through importation of livestock product. For example, sheep, we're importing 99% of lamb meat into the country. And to do this, we will have to migrate a lot of small subsistence livestock farmers into medium and large holdings. And one of the constraining factors to migrate farmers from small holding is fencing material. I want to happy to announce that we have secured $600,000 from our donor to provide fencing material to 528 farmers, which we want to start in 2 weeks' time. So in 2 weeks' time, we hopefully our suppliers keep pace with our demand. We are ready. We're ready to pay and get the fencing material, but we will need to get the paperwork done to secure from the suppliers. So I want to thank the donor. This is out of an environment fund to protect biodiversity, so a little bit of dribbling there. We were able to secure $600,000 to acquire fencing material, to develop paddocks, so that those farmers who are tethering 5 or 6 cattle or goats or sheep, they will be given fencing material to develop paddocks, so that they can now expand their holding. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, having said this, I now want to make a call to our donors, our development partners, this is the time when they need to jump on the ship with us and assist us to expand agriculture and take agriculture to the front line, being the frontline economic ministry. And I do hope that they will come up and assist us in our plan to, again, support infrastructural development and make Fiji's commercial agriculture market-driven and expand the agriculture sector so that agriculture takes its rightful place in the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, as I had mentioned last week, these are unprecedented times. It calls for extraordinary measures. More importantly, we have to work together as partners to achieve our objective that will be mutually beneficial and strengthen our position regarding sustainable food systems and economic growth. And having said that, status quo is not an option. Not with this team agriculture. So we need to move, we need to shake, we need to gallop, we need to leapfrog. So, and that we expect from all our staff and all our partners. And we're not stopping here. If you are not able to sink in, then you'll just step aside. So I want to thank. There's a lot of enthusiasm amongst new and existing farmers. I've got calls from top farmers like Vinesh and them, and very excited to be part of us. This is a historical turning point for Fiji's agriculture sector, and I want to thank all those who are coming on board with us. We will rise to the challenge, and we see an opportunity for all Fijians to benefit. When agriculture sector grows and develops, then all those who are engaged with the agriculture sector through the factor market, supplying of inputs, to the product market, buyers and sellers and suppliers in the supply chain, everyone will benefit. Everyone, because the surplus created will, small portions of the surplus will go to all the suppliers of various factors of production. And that is how we deal with the livelihood objective, not by direct grants and subsidies. So, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I urge you all to adhere to government advisories as well and take precautions and to protect yourself and your loved ones during this pandemic. And I must say that when the dust settles, you will see this ministry there, way ahead. Thank you. Naka.
Thank you.